All right. Well, it should be live. Should be kicking in any time now.
We're always like we're always like 4 minutes late.
Oh, this is not a good week. All right. Is it on? Do we have a thing?
Yeah, it's on. I had to go to my notifications, but it's on.
All right. Let me go back to this screen because I want to see that. And boom. That's good. Okay.
I'll give it a sec for people to figure out that we're on.
All right. So things are going.
I can't tell if that's charging or not. Looks like it's not charging. Why is that not charging? Oh well, I have 77%. That's gonna have to last me. Okay, we got someone in the chat. It's either me or one other person. I don't know if it actually counts. No, because it showed 0 earlier. Ah, fuck it. Let's. People will join when they join.
All right. So we should do the thing.
Do the thing, my man.
Do the thing. Okay. Oh my. Oh god. Okay. Okay. So apparently I have a hairball problem this week. Sorry. Oh, like more so than usual.
This is gonna be fun. We're gonna be talking about dog bomb. What's gonna happen? Oh.
Starting off classy as usual.
Did you do the thing?
You did. Yeah, I did the thing.
I didn't even notice you did the thing.
I did the thing.
Okay. Welcome to the Comedi-Furs podcast. I'm trying to be quiet. I just finished cleaning my cat's litter box. No, it wasn't Boots. Speaking of which, I'm Details. This is Boots.
It was not my box.
That's Flash.
That's Flash.
Hey, everyone.
Oh.
So I guess do we want to address the elephant in the room right away?
Yeah, no, may as well. I mean, it's a bit of a downer today.
Yeah, but I think we can make the most out of this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you like the honors, Mr. Flash? Would you like to lead us in?
Well, for those of us who may or may not have heard, a member of the fandom who's mostly known as Dog Bomb, mostly that's his handle on Twitter, who's been dealing with ALS for quite some time. Basically, now I don't know if it's official based on all the posts I've seen online. So he has, in a way, shuffled off this mortal coil, so to speak. Has pretty much left us. I mean, it is kind of a tragic event because ALS, or Eric's disease, as it's more commonly known, is pretty much a terminal thing. There's no cure for it. There are no proper treatments for it. I mean, once you have it, that's pretty much it. I personally never knew the guy. I've never actually met him, but based on all the posts I've seen online within the past week or so, he seems to be very well liked in the fandom. He was very, very positive despite his condition. He inspired quite a few people, and a lot of people looked up to him, and they see it. And it's kind of sad that a guy like that is no longer with us. However, here's how I look at it. Now, as sad as it is that he is no longer there, there are actually, we can use this as an opportunity for us to improve, because they say that, why is it always all the good and positive people have to go through this kind of thing? There is still some positivity within the fandom. I mean, despite all the negativity, all the drama, everything that we as furries have experienced with whatever length of time we've been in the fandom, despite all we go through, we still can make a difference. We don't have to sit around and wait for someone else to try to bring positivity to the fandom. This is an opportunity for us to step up and take that position. We can bring some positivity to the fandom, and there are ways you can do it. You can encourage others, when they're feeling down, even something as simple as like sending them like a little message online and say, hey, if you need anything, I'm here to talk, I'm with you, I'll be there for you, I'll pray for you, whatever you want me to do, I'm there for you. We need more people like that in the fandom, and even if you can't find them, we're the ones who have to do it. If we want to make the fandom better, we're the ones who have to step up and make that change that we want. It is possible to do that. It's not going to be easy. You're going to go through a lot of difficult times in and out of the fandom. I've done this. Remember, I'm 38. I've been through it a lot. Okay? And as difficult as it is, I still believe it is possible to do so. What are your thoughts?
Ooh.
That was beautiful, man.
As well said.
That was really beautiful. I would cry, but I already sold my soul for the Anthrocon room this year, so. But that was beautiful. I actually do agree.
Well, no, that's a tough act to follow. Oh my gosh.
I was gonna segue into this, but there's really no way to segue into this. Like, honestly, I was going to start this podcast off by saying it was fucking hailing in April in New York.
Yeah.
And I did not know about any of this dog bomb stuff. I didn't know about the ALS. I'm horribly out of date with Comedi-Furs. Or not Comedi-Furs, with Comedi-Furs. I'm horribly out of date. So I came in with like, I have this great load of material. Oh, somebody died.
Yeah, yeah. No, you can't do that today. No. We have to be respectful.
Yeah.
Oh.
As I was like, I will bring it up at the beginning of the podcast. Because I appreciate anyone in this fandom who puts their life towards entertaining people. That's what I want to do. So
yeah, that's basically why we're here. I mean, this is our contribution to the fandom. I mean, we're comedians, we're entertainers. And if I might point this out, see, me and my roommate were talking about this earlier. See, we all want to, be recognized in some way or form within the fandom. Like, you don't always need, a fursuit to do it. I mean, if you have a fursuit, that's perfectly fine. If that's how you do things, it's great. But that should not be like the only thing you need. If you are a furry, there are other ways you can do it. You can do it through drawing, music, writing, puppetry, anything. Or doing stand-up comedy like we do.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of how many friends I've known who finally got their fursuit, like, put it on, they're all happy. It's like, oh my god, I'm so cute. Now what?
Yeah, that's the tricky part. Is what the hell?
What do you do with
step it? 2? There's you got step 1 is the suit, and then there's something in the middle, and then profit. But step 2 is always the tricky part.
Yeah. So, as far by the way, this is my little rant. I lost one of the earbud covers from this. Like, I bought another headset so that way I can get a new earbud cover.
Oh my god! You just took the cover off the new headset and put it on.
No. The new headset comes with extra ones.
Oh.
Because usually when you get earbud headsets, they come with like 3 different ones.
But can't you just like buy the covers on their own?
I looked.
Oh my god.
Those little covers, I would have had to order them online and wait for them if I wanted.
This hurts.
And at that point, I can literally buy a $4 headset.
This hurts me so much.
And just
I
take the extra one. I mean, the good news is this is going to break eventually. I have an extra one now. It's not going to go to waste.
So
also now because the one with the mic is blue, I can tell which one has the mic.
So I guess I should also mention that I'm like super not good. This week has really sucked. I've had the plague, and
This podcast could have very well not happened because Boots is basically like I can only imagine the inside of his head is full of mucus.
oh
at this
god,
point.
it's
Sticky in there.
No, I'm pretty good.
Always.
I'm pretty good about doing that, but oh my god, I could very well die on camera. It'll be
Meanwhile, at work, I got dizzy and nearly passed out. I think it's because I overate and I had gas, but you laugh, but I'm 30 now. That's a distinct possibility.
Oh my god!
Okay, I just turned 30 in February. That is my first case of, oh my god, I'm bloated. I think I'm gonna die.
Oh my god!
When you get up there in age, you have no idea what's going on with your body. If you feel something isn't right, you always think it's something serious. It's like, oh my god, what is that? But it's just acting up.
So,
the only reason I think it's gas is because I had to order out for breakfast today because we have ant issues.
Oh.
We're gonna take care of tomorrow. We have sprays and all that, so.
Oh, that's good.
But I woke up to my counter covered in ants.
That's
bad. And I was like, yeah, I'm not cooking anything today.
No. That's good.
Never a good thing. Huh? Yeah, it's that
the
time
good thing is now I have a free pizza waiting at home. So.
Yeah, but it's like free ant pizza.
Yeah, well, you know, it was one of those things. I could spend an hour. Like, here's the thing: it's not like I just gave up on the counter the minute I saw it. I tried to clear the ants off, and then I went to go get my eggs to make an omelet, and I come back,
and there were ants in your eggs.
It was like it was literally like a cartoon. Like I hosed down the whole counter, got rid of all the ants, flushed them into the sink, perfectly clear counter. I bend down to get the eggs out of the bottom of my fridge. I come back up, ants everywhere.
Ants. Oh,
and they all.
I was like, it's only on the counter. It's on the counter in the bathroom, which the bathroom is like where I'm much more concerned because I do not want to play literal ants in my pants.
No, you do not. That is that's gonna be a bad time. Oh.
Yeah, dealing with any kind of bugs is a pain. I think the worst probably would be bed bugs.
By far.
No, I don't want to even go into that.
Those things are difficult to kill.
All
right.
You've had them before?
In my old house, we've had so many issues with it. We've tried everything.
I don't think I've ever had actual bed bugs, but I've had quite a few scares where all my stuff gets put into bags and we're like, we're taking care of this now.
Yeah.
It never turns out to be bed bugs, but I'm always careful.
I've had to deal with them once, and we basically just threw out all our furniture and started over. It sucked.
I don't have the money to ever do.
No, neither did we. But we slept on.
I'll put it like this: my couch, I've been sleeping on it. It's a hammock now. Well, there is no wood support underneath it anymore.
We wound up sleeping on an air mattress for 6 months. That was good times.
Actually, I was gonna say, like, I was looking into inflatable fold-out couches, and the cheapest one I can get is $50. But with my weight, do I really want to get the cheap one?
No, probably.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
it's one of those things.
Yeah, no, you always want to spring for the extra. That's definitely worthwhile. Also, I have a straw today.
You have a straw.
I was planning.
I have a bottle.
Yeah, see.
I have a bottle. This is not Fanta. This is grape drink.
Oh, you're just reusing it. All right.
Yeah.
No, the Fanta's gone bad.
That's the weirdest orange Fanta I've ever seen.
See, I can do it.
Yeah.
To be fair, there was originally orange Fanta in this. There was about half left, and I was just gonna like drink that, and then I drank it before the podcast. I'm like, well,
Now what?
using the bottle at least. Also, a bottle of wine back here. Oh, there's an empty bottle of wine. There's a very gross empty bottle. Okay, I'm gonna put that back.
You drank that one too?
Take care of that later.
Mm-hmm.
I think that happens way too often in my house. Just because it's 3 people crammed in a one bedroom. There's a lot of situations where I'll reach over, it's like, oh, what's that? That looks cool. And that's disgusting. Okay.
Ew. Oh.
With as many people as you try to cram in the one hotel room during a convention, you think you'd be used to that by now.
You think? Speaking of which, found out the hotel room that my girlfriend booked and then passed on to me. It's a king size.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a large room, huh?
Yeah. Here's the thing. It's a large room, but I know the large room at the Hampton is one huge bed. You can fit 3 or 4 people if they're skinny.
Yeah.
And then you get one fold-out bed that's like... It's not a fold-out bed. It's a, it's basically a step away from a hospital gurney. The fucking, you pull it out from under the bed, you lift it up.
I'm telling you, you guys should try out the Homewood Suites. The rooms are huge.
Mm.
How many hotels do they have now? Because I lost track.
See, the issue is, the usual hotel price that I usually get for a twin is like $600 with con prices. Because I usually have like other bonuses and stuff. This one is $1,400, and I'm just like,
Wow.
I'm gonna need more people.
What happened?
Wait,
It's
how
king
much?
size, so it comes with the king size price.
Oh.
So
Like,
I
how
have.
many days is it for?
Oh no, it's for the whole con.
Like Thursday to Monday?
It's we get there a day before and we leave the day after.
Okay, yeah, so Thursday to Monday. Yeah, that's what we do too. I like that. I like the idea.
It's like, okay, here's the thing. Last year at Anthrocon, I was rooming with someone else, and they had to leave the last day of the con.
Oh, that's.
I fucking hate that.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I understand people got lives. People want to get back to work on Monday.
Yeah.
I don't work Mondays. And I'll be damned if I'm going to rush to catch a bus.
Yeah.
But I can just... Yeah.
That sucks.
It's annoying. That's what it is.
I mean, I don't blame people, but yeah.
So
Yeah,
we're Flash is a. You said you're a maybe, right?
yeah.
Depending
I'm still
on how the job situation goes.
for everything. Now, well, once I know for sure, which I'm really hoping would be soon, but I'm still waiting to hear from people. Now, if I do go, now here's the thing. Now, it's during a 4th of July weekend,
That's
which
correct.
which in some cases, depending on like what job you're in, may be difficult to get time off because a lot of people ask for holiday weekends off. Now, 4th of July falls on a Thursday this year. Now, if I do get this other job and we do have 4th of July off, I can probably leave for the con that day, depending on if I can get the Friday off. Now, I'm kind of juggling different scenarios with like how much time I'm allowed off because there's a couple of other conventions I want to do throughout the year. The thing is, if I have to leave on a Sunday, if I have to go back to work that Monday, I will. But here's the issue with that. For anyone who has ever driven to Anthrocon and ever had to drive on the PA Turnpike, there are some days traffic on that turnpike going eastbound from Pittsburgh towards, Harrisburg is a giant pain.
Oh, it's the worst.
A holiday weekend.
Oh.
Everyone is going home on a Sunday. Now, here's what I figured out, because I have been stuck in this traffic before. Now, for most people who know the PA Turnpike, the exit for Pittsburgh is exit 57. Now, if you're traveling east, now, I think Interstate 70 meets around exit 161 near the town of Breezewood. That's about 100 miles. Now, think about it. From Pittsburgh to Breezewood, you're talking about over 100 miles of jammed, stopped traffic. Okay? You will be there all day. Okay? This is why I don't like leaving Anthrocon on a Sunday, because traffic on the PA Turnpike eastbound is just a parking lot.
Oh, it's so bad.
All right.
I used to not specifically from Anthrocon, but I used to drive through Pennsylvania, and I took that same turnpike, and we did it on Sundays, and oh god, it was so bad.
It is the worst.
So bad.
Now, there is a way to avoid most of that. There is a way to go if you're traveling east. Now, I forget what road it is specifically, but it's a little bit north. Like, instead of taking the, like, you know how you take that road, which is, I think, 376, which puts you on the turnpike? You go past that, and it puts you on, like, this mountain road, which is the back way. It takes you all the way, I think, to the town of Altoona. Take I-99, go south, hit the turnpike from there. Now, you can't avoid that. There's no traffic there. The problem is it's on a very steep mountain. Now, remember, I drive a 96 Corolla. It is not a hill climber. It will struggle the entire time. I'm surprised it still runs. Okay?
That's only slightly terrifying.
It is.
Oh
I mean,
god.
I was wondering why my car was struggling the whole way up. It's like, oh, I'm going up a mountain, and I looked it up. It's like 2,500 feet above sea level or something. It's a very.
Yeah.
I'm surprised my car survived it. Well, I'm not going this way again.
Definitely something like that.
So I'm figured if I do have to drive, I'm renting a car, because I don't want to put that much stress on my vehicle. I want to make it last. Look, my car is old, and it has 220,000 miles on it. I can't afford another car just yet, right? So I'm hanging on to it.
So how many of those miles was from me sitting in your car during Furpod going to Pokestops? Because honestly, I'm just thinking, like, if I do have you room with me at the Hampton, or the Hamilton, or whatever the fuck it's called, I'm just picturing you going down like a steep mountain road, and your car is tilting slightly to the right. Every right turn would be a disaster.
Oh my god. Oh,
You're gonna kill my vehicle. I at least want to try to make it to Furpot. but I'm getting my own room for that one.
Oh, that's definitely good.
I don't know why I'm just picturing,
because
like,
my roommates want to go to Furpot with me this year, and we're thinking about getting a room.
I was just thinking of freaking me sitting in Flash's car, and like some dudes in a lowrider come up and like, "Hey, essay, what's your suspension? What's your hydraulics?" And I'm like sticking my head out the window. Essay, Burger King.
Oh my god. Oh.
I don't drive a lowrider. I have weak suspension.
Oh my gosh.
That's a joke that I can't tell in like most cities now.
Yeah? No, that seems like
Hey, that's the essay that was making fun of us.
Oh my gosh. So, yeah.
You know what I want to see? Lowriders in Canada.
That would be a mistake. That would be such a huge mistake. Oh my god.
Hey, essay,
No.
I got the lowrider suspension, eh?
Oh my god, no! You can't even clear snowbanks with that crap. Yeah. Oh, jeez.
You wouldn't be able to have them in Canada. You can't get through the snow.
Yeah, that's kind of essential. Low wheelbases are good.
I found. Okay, I was gonna.
Yeah,
does anybody else have anything they want to bring up?
well, we saw the one in there that's slightly less than than standard coloration. Wait, what the hell am I talking about?
What are we talking about? Okay.
Sorry, I got it spaced out there. Whew! The fuck was that?
You know, the good thing about having a head cold in fursuit is people just think you're being cute because you just stare at the camera. Meanwhile, you're like, I can't breathe.
Huh? Did everything just taste purple for a second there? Oh my
what
god.
do you usually take?
Sorry, what was that?
Wait. What kind of medicine do you take?
None. I probably should be doping up, but right now I'm just like, oh my god, I'm just drifting on fumes here.
I will not do a high cast on this podcast unless I hit like freaking, let's say 1,000 subscribers. If I get 1,000 subscribers, maybe I'll do a high cast.
Oh,
This might take a while.
that's okay. We're pretty safe then.
Yeah, we're pretty safe. And then we say that, and people are like, dude, they'll do a high cast if we get 1,000 subscribers.
No.
Start firing up the bots.
No. Oh my god, no. It's legal here.
It's legal there. We'd have to do it during Vernal Equinox.
Oh my god. No.
I'll tell you this, you don't want to see me high, I'm just giggling. At that point, like, all the jokes go out the window, I just turn into, like, a giggly mess.
I have no idea what I would do, and I'm kind of terrified to find out.
So anyway, I have a new nerdy obsession.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, I stumbled upon this. There's actually a thing called Power Rangers Hyperforce, which I was like, I am intrigued. I have not heard of the season. Turns out it's not a season. It's a YouTube channel, or no, it's a YouTube series run by Hyper RPG, sponsored by Saban, and they got a combination of YouTubers who support Power Rangers like very strongly, as well as they got some actors from the show Power Rangers, and it's a D&D type adventure. Super nerdy. And I think the icing on the cake was when I found out Bulk was the Yellow Ranger.
That is so beautiful.
Like, the actor who plays Bulk turned out to be the Yellow Ranger.
But, you know, we all want to actually pretend that it's the character, Bulk, as the Yellow Ranger.
That's great.
That would be friggin' hilarious.
I mean, to be fair, okay. This is the thing. His character is like this serious B-cop kind of guy, which is great because, you know, Bulk and Skull were cops at some point.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, I remember that too. But he like plays it pretty seriously. He's like very much the guiding force for the group. But every now and then, you see a little bit of Bulk come in because he'll make a joke that only Bulk or Skull would make.
Oh, do they get the
and
theme
I'm
song?
just like,
oh god.
yeah. Also, I love the fact that they gave them a morph sequence.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's, for the most part, the show is like, okay, my character's going to do this, roll the dice. And they keep the conversations very much in character, like, what are we going to do, guys? It's, like, really entertaining. It's like an episode of the show, except just in your mind.
We should go down to the youth center and do some fundraising or something.
They did! It's a time travel series because they were doing it from Time Force. I think it's like episode 2.
Oh.
They end up in Angel Grove, and they go to the youth center.
Oh no.
But they're like from the Time Force, so like they came back in time, and they don't know anything about this like era.
Wait! Did Bulk run into Bulk?
Not yet. I don't think that's gonna happen just because.
This needs to happen.
Well, no, it's not gonna happen because in this case, any of the original Power Ranger actors, if they use a Power Ranger on the show, they actually bring the actor in to play themselves
Oh, that's awesome.
on the show. So like the first episode, since they're doing the whole Time Force thing, and this comes after Time Force, they have Jenny, the original pink Time Force Ranger, come in and be like the instructor for the cadets and all that. It's just really cool and nerdy. And the cool part is, like, they do have the option to morph when they want. Like, obviously they have to follow the rules, like, don't escalate a battle, don't morph for personal gain. Very much like they're following those classic Power Ranger rules. But when they do decide to morph, they filmed a morphing sequence where the actual players have morphers. And they, like, flash a card. It's like, Red Ranger, Hyperforce, power up! I can't do the thing. I haven't mastered it yet. I will know that before the end of the series is over, because they do it every time they morph.
Okay. I'm curious. I gotta check this out.
I will send you a link later. It is so good.
I'll have to give it a watch at some point.
The cool part is these are actors.
Yeah.
They're used to having a script in front of them. They're used to having, like, the plot has to go this exact way. This is all improv. So they have the general idea of how to be a Power Ranger, but they have to actually make the decisions themselves.
Oh, man. No.
The Red Ranger is actually, I think, the Blue Ranger from a different series. I don't know which series. I think it's the Blue Ranger from Ninja Steel. Because I don't recognize him, and that's the only one I haven't watched.
I don't know, like, any of them. So, I mean,
I'm not too familiar with Power Rangers. I mean, I was like a little bit, like, but that was like way back in like the mid-90s.
Well, funny that you mentioned that. Like I said, the second episode is Angel Grove. They haven't gotten out of Angel. I've only seen up to the 3rd episode, by the way, but I peeked at the 4th episode. The 4th episode, they got Aisha, the Yellow Ranger from the original.
Ooh.
And I've been, like, kind of, like, going through the series, like, a little bit, like, sneaking ahead. A lot of the Rangers have their original helmet and their original morphers set in front of them. And because they actually have their physical morphers, like, they all have the old Hyperforce morphers. The original Rangers, when they morph, it flashes to their original morph scene.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
It's so good.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh no, I flipped because I knew about the Hyperforce morph. I knew they were going to use that. I didn't know they were going to pull from the actual TV show and do the other morphs. I got that in the 1st episode because Jen had to morph, and it's just like it flashes to the, like, Time Force. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm just such a nerd.
No, it's okay.
It's perfectly fine.
You're okay to like things.
Yeah.
It keeps people distracted from the fact that I'm very slowly dying.
Oh, here's one other thing. One other fact. I found out about this. If the mobile game Legacy Wars, they have the Hyperforce Yellow Ranger.
Oh my god.
They made this canon.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So this tabletop RPG, the season 1 is already over. I have to watch through it. They're starting season 2. Apparently they have a 6th Ranger now. I can't wait to get to that. But, oh my god. I don't... I've only watched episode 3 and I don't want to do spoilers. Because here's the thing. The other thing about it is, like, with an episode of Power Rangers, it's like quick action, doing stuff, blah, 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 always stuff going on. these are tabletop games. Tabletop games take time. Each episode of Hyperforce takes like 2 hours.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That's been my experience with the tabletop games.
It's so good. So, while we're on the subject of cool podcasts, me, Boots, and Flash have been talking about this because me and Boots have off for the summer. And we were thinking of filming some content for you guys. So if anybody wants to, at some point in the chat, you know, if you got ideas for multiplayer games we can play, I have one idea in my head, and I want to do this. It's probably going to go horrible wrong.
Those are the best kind of ideas.
I want to do a Gen 3 Tri-Link, which it's a Nuzlocke run where our Pokemon are linked. So,
oh no.
So like my starter is linked with Flash starter is linked with Boots starter, and if one of them dies, they're all gone.
Oh, everybody's gonna die. It's gonna be the worst thing ever. We're gonna all get blackout in a cave and lose all our money and wake
Oh
up.
no, if it's a blackout, it's game over.
Yeah.
Like from the immediate moment that you're a Pokemon faints, we can no longer use the Pokemon that we have in the party. And if they're already out, we have to switch them.
It's dead forever. Oh no.
I don't even play Pokemon.
Well, if we do Gen 3, what we're going to do is we're going to do Fire Red, Leaf Green. And to make it a little easier, we might do Omega Fire Red, which has more chances for encounters.
Okay.
But it's still it's Gen 1, but it's going to be harder because I believe in Omega Fire Red, all the gym leaders have 6 Pokemon.
Huh. That's Wait, no, that's normal. They have 6. For some Holy crap, I'm really I don't know why I thought you said all the gym leaders have 6 arms. I'm just what? Oh.
The other thing about the Tri-Link is I have to come up with 3 randomized ROMs, which means static encounters, wild encounters, our starters, all random. It can be any of the Gen 3 Pokemon.
Okay.
So, we could start off the game with a Rayquaza, or we could start off with a Magikarp.
Oh, I'm totally calling dibs on Magikarp. So many dibs.
I mean, to be fair, the Nuzlocke doesn't start until you officially get Pokeballs, but don't recommend starting with Magikarp.
No.
I think there's some other rules, like I believe we get to re-encounter a Pokemon if the types are the same. Like if I get a fire type, primary fire, then the next person who goes encounter, if they get a fire type, they can run away and get the next one. But you're only allowed 1 encounter per route.
Okay.
And they're linked by the routes.
Oh.
So not only can you lose a Pokemon from fainting, if you knock out a Pokemon that we're trying to catch, none of us can catch it.
Okay, and then
I just put so much pressure on Boots.
yeah, don't do that. I'm not super good. Everything's weird.
We'll find because we got to do video tests anyway. We'll find some time to do some test runs before we do the actual run.
Yee. So,
With like the huge handicap that Pokemon don't die.
oh,
So that way we can test everything, but when the actual recording starts.
I'm sure they have one of those. I don't.
The other thing about that is we're going to have to pre-record that, so we won't be on Facecam. we'll just be playing the game.
Alright, that works. I have no idea how I'm going to set that up. It's going to be super difficult.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Since we're pre-recording, we can edit it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get an artist to make us a background to post for the video. It'll be like a place for the 3 screens, a place to keep track of what Pokemon we have and where they're linked, and then like a place to show how many badges we have collectively, because we have to all get the badges at the same time too. So like, you know, if we're going to Brock, we're all going to Brock.
Hooray! Then he can hit on me and tell me I'm beautiful.
Actually, I had this thought in my head that we were going to do. Like, if I was going to do that, I would probably have our fursonas in, like, an icon at the center of the screen, all dressed like Pokemon trainers.
Oh, no.
So, I don't know. I just have the idea of, like, I would definitely be blue. I would be Gary Oak. I gotta be.
I mean, the color is there, so, yeah.
The color is there. And then what would it be? I guess it would, like... I don't know who's funnier being the female trainer. Because we do the male trainer Red, but we'd also have to do Leaf, which is the female trainer.
Holy crap. I did it again. Oh my god, I keep lagging. This is so weird. Oh, I just keep losing blocks of time. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so gonna die. Oh. Yeah. So this has been a super good week. I've been like kind of loopy all week long, but because of the whole shenanigans between job situation thing, I can't take sick days, so I've just been all like woo all week long, and things are super good. Oh my god. People are probably gonna think I'm drunk or something. I don't know.
Can you turn that air conditioner off, man?
Do I look like I can get up right now?
How come the air?
You want me to put something sexy on the screen for you?
No,
Yeah. Yeah, sexy time.
I will be.
What? Oh, they're just breadsticks. I'm eating
Oh,
sauce.
crazy bread.
Yeah.
All right.
There's some piece.
I'm gonna turn on the AC. Give me,
Okay.
or at least the fan.
That's from you.
I don't want that.
So, how
It
are
shouldn't.
you doing? I haven't died yet, so things are
There's a few that were a bit next to,
okay.
but yeah, I'm using the sauce, so.
I'm just gonna hang
Just
out
use
here.
this one.
Yeah.
Like I fucking had cancer.
This is very.
Okay, I'll be gross.
This is a very interesting out of context conversation.
Yo,
where
Fuck you, chair.
Yeah.
Boy.
something about a chair.
I have great bread.
Yes, I
Uh-huh.
completely agree. Oh, okay. Whew.
Wait, someone talk while me.
Yeah, well, that's very dignified. Holy crap.
Yeah.
I should have a coffee or something. Oh,
You
oh, everything
need
is
like a
bad.
Benadryl or something.
Oh, oh.
I apologize for those of you who have to watch me eat, but if somebody hands me food, I'm gonna eat it.
I mean, it's. I can't really blame you for that. It's
Thing.
food.
I tell you the story about, like, it was either the first or second time I was at Anthrocon.
Uh-huh.
Me and Nick were just hanging out, waiting for the dealer's den. Because it was open, but it was still during the point where, like, we had gotten there a little after it opened, and there was still, like, a huge line.
Uh-huh.
So we were just waiting for the line to clear out. Some dude came over to us and gave us Taco Bell. Like, he just gave us Taco Bell.
I remember hearing.
Apparently, like, he ordered too much and his kid didn't want it anymore, so he was like, just here.
That.
Where did he? Wait, is there a Taco Bell in Pittsburgh?
There's gotta be a Taco Bell. They have Taco Bells everywhere. Yeah.
They're building a Taco Bell nearby me, apparently.
I mean, we don't have that many Taco Bells here, but that's because it's Canada. And I think they're all rolled into the same building as KFC most of the time.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of those, South Jersey. But you know, like, we have other, like, you know, Mexican, like themed restaurants that are, like, obviously better than Taco Bell. Of course, we have Chipotle, and we also have a Moe's Southwest Grill. That stuff is really good.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you don't mind spending a little bit extra, you go for one of those two places.
I mean, right now I have more pizza places and sushi joints around me. Because, like, I have a lot of Chinese places that are just starting to sell sushi because it's popular.
Yeah. Because, yeah, Chinese sushi is such a traditional Chinese dish. It's super common.
Yeah, my friend
Actually,
loves
fun
sushi.
fact. Sushi did originate in China.
Oh, no.
But it moved to Japan and became, like, the national dish of Japan, so. Sushi pack. It's so good. I know it's just bread. But it's good. So, you're on YouTube and you're tuning into the Rewind. Welcome to Details as a Fat Ass and just keeps eating.
I'm desperately trying not to just pass out here. And everything's super good. Holy crap, okay, no.
Hey,
Oh my god. Oh, jeez. That's what I get for getting 4 hours of sleep a night for the last week and a half. Oh.
Mm.
Yes.
Oh. I'm not doing so good. Everything's been kind
There are 4 left in there, but I gotta stop eating them because I can't talk if I'm eating them.
I want grape juice.
So anyway,
Yeah.
anyway, I found something interesting on eBay the other day that I just bought.
Oh.
Okay.
I like interesting finds.
One of the things I've been looking for recently, because I like soundtracks from 80s films.
Oh, nice.
One I've been looking for that I actually found. I don't know if you've ever seen this movie, but it's actually one of my favorite buddy cop films from the year 1986. It's called Running Scared with Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines.
I think I remember that one.
Movie, and it's very hard to find a soundtrack. I found a copy of it on eBay, and it came in the mail earlier this week. Sounds really good. It's like the most 80s sounding album out there.
So, I told a few people. Did anybody else tell anyone the podcast has moved to a week?
I posted mine on Twitter like an hour before the show because I forgot to post it earlier.
Oh no, same here. Like I posted it to a couple. I told a couple people. And I was like, "You guys spread the word."
Like, well, after the video is uploaded, we'll just link it later. We'll say like here's what you missed on Friday.
Woo.
Because I know one of the games that we were gonna do later was scenes from the chat, but the chat is me, so it's gonna be scenes from Details. So I guess we'll shake it up and do that last.
Okay. Wait. What?
Because we have one other thing that I wanted to bring up, but we're going to bring that up in like a few minutes.
Yeah, I think I got it ready. I did the thing.
I hope so.
I got the thing ready. I vaguely remember doing that because, oh my god, I am so messed up this week. It's been, oh. Yeah, no, I did it. It's good. It's, it's here.
Boots is going to be so happy when we have a dude who actually records for us, because then if he's fucked up for the week, he can just take it easy.
Oh, I mean,
He's gonna need rest.
I'm kind of okay with this. It's interesting, and also I like having an excuse for things being terrible because I don't know what I'm doing. Oh no, don't do that. That's supposed to be what I'm doing.
I don't know. I just have horrible allergies.
Oh yeah, me too. I'm allergic to everything, including myself.
It's only pollen for me. I mean, here's the thing. I take allergy meds. I really do. I take the pills every day. They don't stop me from coughing. They don't stop me from sneezing. They let me breathe. That's about it. It's sad to know that in my life, at 30 years old, there is the possibility that I could at some point in the future forget to take my medicine and be suffocated by treason. And I'm going to keep saying that in that joke, in that specific way, because I like saying tree semen. Consider that your prelude if you come to see me at the open mic.
Ah, Jesus. Okay, so I have lost my straw. My
Your straw fell in.
My straw is my straw is falling. Oh hell! Well, it was a good idea while it lasted. Maybe I can get.
Why
it out.
did you not just buy a bag of straws?
I do have a bag of straws, but they're too short. They don't.
Oh, they're not
Then you put a straw within the straw.
The straw is inside the bottle.
You can stuff a straw in a straw.
Nah, it leaks. It doesn't work well. It's I've tried this.
Well, if the leaky part is in the bottle, it doesn't matter.
Ah, but it. Shit. I mean, I guess I could like use some duct tape in the middle there. That's.
I'm waiting for Boots to go to Anthrocon, go into the headless lounge, and just take all the straws. I need these.
The thought had occurred to me to at least take one home. But see, my issue is that I always forget to go to the dances. Yeah, I went to the one dance at FE this year. The roaming dance, that was fun. But they didn't have crazy straws there. It's really quite unfortunate.
Need to straighten up my beard at some point.
Beard point.
I'm just like... Okay, there's two reasons I like my hair long and my beard. One is I just kind of look good in it, apparently. It works for me. Because I'll be real, I used to have short hair, I used to have no beard, and I look like the school kid from Bully.
Oh no.
So, I will take looking like Santa Claus over taking looking like that kid. I will take looking like Santa Claus over looking like Bobby Hell, okay?
Oh.
Back in his ass.
The second reason is haircuts cost money.
Yeah.
If you want a good haircut, I like to go to fur cons. I'm pretty sure I can save enough money if I don't take a haircut.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, what you do is you find a barber college, because then they'll cut it for free on and you just have to worry about the potential to walk out with like the worst haircut you've ever had.
Yeah. Also, if I ever have to become less of a douchebag, I can do the stupid anime thing where I take the hair ponytail and like cut it with a dagger, and then suddenly my hair falls perfectly in place.
That would be great. I would.
It could work.
I would. I would.
I'm done being a comedian. I will be a scientist. That ain't gonna happen.
But his human aid is homework, so it's okay. Wait, what?
It's not letting me play any fucking games.
Oh my god, what the fuck is wrong with me today? Jesus Christ!
Hey,
Oh,
what's it?
holy crap, I'm going crazy. Oh my god. Oh, I gotta watch this again later. I don't know what the hell is. Oh, Jesus Christ. I've had to drive like this week. It's not been good. I almost died.
Oh, wait. Are you saying you had to drive with the cold, or you had to drive with a cold in the head?
Not the head. No, Jesus Christ. There's no way I would be driving like this. That would just be... Oh, I would love to see a...
Was that a red light or a green?
I don't know, but I like tacos. I think they're really cool. Wait, what? Oh, man, I gotta...
On that note, tacos is a good segue. We have exactly one submission for our new segment.
Ah.
The drawing board.
Ah, yes. So, alright.
Someone drew something for it.
So, let's make sure I did this right. Wait.
Oh, God.
Alright, let's see if I did this properly. Okay. So, I think a couple weeks ago, we had a conversation
on What a Tweet.
Oh.
Where Boots said that he did artwork of a specific bikini top,
Right.
and it was hilarious because it was hyped. Did you have that original image?
Yeah, actually I did get that ready. But hang on. So
let's bring out the original image first.
Okay, so I'm just gonna throw this in the oh crap. Pixie. Oh, so the good news is I seem to be relatively conscious again. But okay. So I'm gonna throw this to you guys on Telegram so you can see it, because if I throw it in Discord, it screws up the feed.
I don't think I'm ever gonna forget that image, but sure.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful image. It's not beautiful. It's terrible.
Okay.
So,
let me get.
Yeah. So, there we go. And just so everybody else at home can see, there we go.
I don't know if the internet's lagging or my podcast is lagging, but whatever.
No, it should be up. So that was the Mukini.
Yes, sir.
That was
the Mukini.
That was just shameful.
He's talking.
So much shame.
So I made a comment that I said, "Hey, I bet my persona could pull that off better than you."
Yeah.
Apparently, somebody decided to test that theory.
So, I guess, should we do it? I wonder if I can get a side by side here.
Yeah. If you can do this side by side.
Yeah, let's just shift that over, and then okay. So here's there we go. And for the viewers at home,
Oh,
There we
That
go.
one you might have to drop into Twitter or Discord for.
Oh, right, yeah, okay, hang on, I'll do that. There we go. I know how to do things. I know how to do things.
Sarah.
Oh my god, I've wrecked everything. Okay, there we go.
My God.
I see it.
There we go. That's yeah.
I would say I pulled it off.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the confidence is certainly there. That's like 9/10 of anything. So, yeah. He's making it work.
That is so tucked in. That is tucked all the way to the back.
I don't like it.
Oh boy.
Actually, fun fact. I found this out. If you're cosplaying as a Power Ranger, one of the things you have to do is to make those skin-tight jumpers and not show any bulge. You have to tuck them in very tightly.
I'm not surprised. Oh,
That can't be comfortable for them.
God. Well, it is a kid's show, so, you know.
I can't feel my dick, but I can't feel more like a man.
You can't have a raging boner going during your fight scenes. That would just be super awkward.
If you ever want really good stories from Power Rangers, Johnny Young Bosch and Jason David Frank. Oh my God! Look up their like Comic-Cons and Ranger Cons and stuff. They have stories. I'm not gonna steal any of them.
I like stories.
But specifically, look up the quarter story from Johnny Young Bosch. It's on YouTube.
The quarter story from Johnny Young. Yeah, I can do that. I mean, not now, but
Not now, but do it later.
But yes, I
Like that. That's probably the most hilarious Power Ranger story I've heard.
Oh my gosh.
It wasn't even Power Rangers related. It was just kind of one of those life things. But it's one of those things that's like you would only expect from like just the mind of Johnny Young Bosch voices everyone.
Yeah, they do tend to have a lot of people like that. You got your
Moving back, folks, to the picture. This was actually done by the same person who did our logo.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck did she put in that little heart?
Yes.
I'm guessing a signature.
Could be.
It's not a signature. It's something.
It's tough for me to tell because I'm wearing a giant block of foam on my head.
Like I enlarged the image to see what it was. I can't see the signature, but I will say this. That is a look of like I look sexy, but god damn it, I'm in pain.
Yeah, I could believe that.
It's just like I'm in pain, but I'm not letting you find out.
I mean, you've seen the back of this thing, right? It's just a floss. It's like
Yeah.
Oh, it goes all the way up.
That's not the part that I'm worried about.
Oh.
That's very comfortable, I see.
Oh my. That's oh dear. That's not good. No, that's not
Oh, hello, Kira. Apparently the stream is lagging. I'm sorry.
Hello. Yeah, that's
You came in at a wonderful time.
that's normal. Hi, Kira.
You can see what's on the screen.
I've been I think I'm
2/3 of the group.
I'm like super doped up or high.
This is what I get for opening my big mouth.
Whoa. Whew. What? Yes.
You know, it's not the proper segment, but smash or pass.
Oh. Oh, the guy on the left's kind of a jackass, so I can't do. Oh, yeah.
Pass.
Yep.
Uh.
Boots, stop looking at my cleavage. My face is up
Oh my
here.
God! Oh Jesus Christ! Oh.
This is why Boots doesn't room with me at any con. I would just drive him crazy all con.
Oh. Yeah.
Imagine Zane like that. I mean, hell, you know artists.
He could make it work. Oh my God! So ever since I started doing these, like, people keep sending me prompts for, hey, you should try drawing your character in this one now. And I don't have time to do all of these things, but I admit it would be.
If this leads to Flash's persona in this is going to be a very interesting and weird place to do a segment.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think it kind of has to happen at this point. It's
obviously the two more popular members of the stream, but okay.
we got two.
Apparently, I'm not famous enough to be pictured in that.
I don't know anything about being.
So, I'm just gonna out myself. I totally just commissioned this to fuck with Boots.
Yeah.
Late April Fools, guys!
Oh my God, you bastard!
I would totally. I should have done a camouflage bikini. That would have been even hotter.
Oh. Camouflage.
Camouflage.
Oh, I shouldn't be clever about, or I shouldn't be proud about that. That was awful. Oh.
If your face wasn't beet red due to the cold, it is now.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Boots, stop looking at my cleavage!
What? No! Oh my God!
Running out of material.
Okay. I'm good. Oh.
Okay.
Okay, I'm still alive. I haven't died yet. Oh my God. I'm like.
Now I'm just expecting Boots to say, "I'm not looking at your cleavage. I'm going lower."
I'm not looking. Oh my God! No, that's worse.
Wow.
That's so much worse. I'm just good. Oh.
And it's still doing it. Wow. Okay.
How the fuck am I gonna top this for next year's April Fools?
Oh my God. Ah. Well,
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see Zan in a camo bikini.
Oh, you should. I did an April Fool's thing once. It was pretty good. It's also it's the highest rated or highest viewed and highest rated submission on my FA profile, which disturbs me greatly. It is the only red border submission I have ever made. And it's like super popular. And it makes me very upset. But if you're curious, feel free to check it out. Don't check it out.
Okay, so I know, Kara, that you didn't want it for details, but you can totally pull it off. I should shut up. This is gonna bite me later.
Wait, not that kind of biting. Never mind. No, I'm gonna shut up. Damn it, I
See, I'm laughing about this now, and it's all cute and funny. I was like, later, me and Boots are gonna look at each other like, yeah, this is awkward.
Yeah. Oh my god. Let's just pretend that never happened. We're just gonna.
Let's just buy 20 banana daiquiris and hope to God we don't remember anything.
Oh my god.
I never liked the April Fool's Day because that's the one day of the year you don't take anyone on social media seriously.
Oh yeah, no.
You don't know if anyone's joking or not, so I tend to avoid it.
No, that's a good policy.
That's the one where everyone says like, "I'm leaving the fandom." Oh, April Fool's. I'm like, whatever.
No. I think a proper April Fool's thing.
Okay, so tip to anybody who says that and says on April Fool's, I'm leaving the fandom. It doesn't count if you've said it 20 times before.
Well, that's why I'm saying, look, if you say you're leaving the fandom on April Fool's, you should actually disappear permanently. Because, you know, that's nobody ever stays away. They always come back, and it's usually within 2 weeks.
You're not leaving the fandom because there's too many hugs. You can't escape the hugs. You need hugs.
Yeah, they're really nice. And, you know, just doing it in normie space, people just look at you funny. And why the hell are you hugging me, you little bastard?
Another thing I don't like about April Fool's Day is like if you're like following like another podcast and then they tell you that they're completely changing the format and they're going to be from now on they're going to discuss like something else, and it's like, oh, we're just kidding, we're not really doing that. There was one I was following on Twitter. It's called the Animaniacast. It's basically these three guys who talk about Animaniacs. And like on April Fool's, they posted like today from now on we're gonna be talking about Disney's bonkers, and they're like, oh, April Fools, we're not that cruel. I'm like, ouch, dude, not cool, not cool, not cool.
That is a little. That is a bit harsh, yeah.
That is extremely because you know I'm a fan of that show, and I get super defensive when people tell me it sucks.
Hey, Kira, I think you and me are the only one in the chat. If you can pull other people in the chat, that would be great, because in about 11 minutes, we're going to do scenes from the chat. Boots has a horrible head cold, so this is going to be quite interesting.
I think I've been hallucinating, or at least blacking out, and it's been really weird.
He's getting hypnotized by the spots on my cleavage.
No, please stop. Oh my god.
But there is one thing I did see on Twitter on April Fool's that almost had me. Because I forget the name of this artist, but she's really good. I think she goes by Pixel Kitties. She does all this great art, like mostly art of Fifi, and she also does
running out of material.
She also does a Disney themed art also, and she did all these posts. She did all these like pictures of Darkwing Duck recently, and it made us all believe that show was actually coming back, and it was drawn in the style of the new DuckTales.
Oh,
it had us going for a bit. I was like,
I would love that.
Like, wait, are they bringing that back? I'm like, oh no, I'm just a huge Darkwing Duck fan.
Oh, the new DuckTales is so good though.
I know, but it looks legit. I mean, it looks exactly the way he was redesigned in that one episode.
Which things are happening.
Yeah.
Sir,
I got ponied.
We are trying to have a serious discussion here about cartoons.
Change the photo for Boots. Yeah. You can take the photos down. Doesn't matter. He can look at it in Discord.
Okay. The photos have been safely stowed.
Okay.
But yes, I like the new DuckTales. It is
I have
good.
only been drinking soda.
I have
In case
to
anybody's
find the
wondering why I
second
was
season.
fucking tripped on my ass.
Start watching that. I really like it.
Yeah, there were a few episodes I did watch that I really did like.
Kira says hi, Derek.
It's written really well. I think the characters are portrayed a little bit better than in the original series.
Yep.
I mean, in this one, you can actually tell Huey, Dewey, and Louie apart.
Oh my god, it's great. They all have distinct personalities. It's crazy.
I mean, the only way you can tell them apart from the original series is that they wear different colored clothes.
Yeah, and in some episodes they switch it up just to mess with people, and nobody cared.
I'm sorry, what? I was sniffing my breadsticks.
Whoa, hey, dude, just don't do it on camera, man.
That's why they're off camera.
Oh.
It's one of those cases where I can't eat food because if I eat food, I won't be talking. But at the same time, I can stare at the food all I want. That's why the Food Network is popular.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's playing 24/7 over here. It's driving me crazy. Oh, it's driving me so crazy.
You know where I end up watching the most Food Network though?
Huh?
Whenever I'm at a con and I'm in the hotel room, if there's literally nothing else on, I usually just turn on the Food Network, and it's always either like a marathon of like Throwdown with Bobby Flay, or at Furpak, it's always the pumpkin carving competition thing.
Oh yeah. Well, that's because that's all they do these days now. They just have marathons of weird shows.
Yeah.
Ugh. Man, I remember when
We're gonna show 4 hours of diners, drive-ins, and drives.
Diners, drive-ins.
Yeah, diners, drivers, and diners, drive-ins, and dives. Okay. Yeah.
I like a what's it called? Diners, drive-ins, and dragons.
How was the cheesecake at work? You didn't miss much. You really didn't.
Come on, it's a free work cheesecake.
Here's the thing. I love cheesecake. That was like... No.
You're welcome, fool.
Thank you.
I didn't want to put fucking desserts on the plates every day for your ass to eat.
No, the other desserts were fine. I'm just saying the cheesecake was...
Cheesecake awesome.
It wasn't that good. Not the one I got.
Then you must have gotten it from somebody else. Cheesecakes I cut and put on those plates, they were perfect.
They were perfectly cut, I'll give you that. I'm just saying, like, they were way more dense than any cheesecake has any right to be. That was the cheesecake's impersonation of a brownie.
Cheesecakes don't have rights. They're all objects. They should be eaten.
Don't they come from a factory?
And once again, I catch Boots' gaze drifting down.
No!
And down! And down!
Oh, Jesus. Ugh.
But yeah, I would love for some more people to join the chat for scenes from the chat in the next 5 minutes. I'm going to, real quick, let's see, who can I...
Otherwise, it could be super weird. It's gonna be like a thing, and I totally don't remember what the hell I was talking about, because oh my god, there's something seriously wrong with me. Oh.
Is there anyone live in the Discord?
I don't think there anyone is.
Just the people that I already messaged privately. All right, cool.
Like I said, I'm barely on Discord, but I have to start using it more often because there is someone I was trying to contact with, but she's barely on. Maybe because they only use it for like gaming and stuff. I only use it just to do the podcast, Now I have to use like Discord more often because I.
Oh no, Kieran, to keep up, yeah, Boots is a little stuffed up today.
Just a bit.
Yeah,
Also,
feeling a little under the weather, basically.
Also, I think I keep passing out, and it's weird. Yeah. Hey.
Give Boots some catnip.
Oh my god.
That'd be interesting.
I could actually go for that.
The high cast does not go on until we have 1,000 subscribers. 1,000 episodes. Ooh, that's a pipe dream. Anyway, so I'm sorry about the super laggy stream and super laggy stuff. But what could possibly go wrong?
Oh no.
Everything.
Everything.
It's just an invitation for disaster.
I'm gonna blow smoke in my body because I like random shit.
Yeah.
I have vape in a bottle.
You probably can't hear it, but my roommates are in the next room watching Gravity Falls.
Oh, it's a great show.
Yeah, I don't know.
Greg.
Is that on Hulu or is it like just elsewhere? 'Cause I forget like where I have it.
Oh, it's not laggy anymore. Yay!
We don't actually get Hulu up here because we live in Canada, and Canada has terrible options for telecommunications. So bad.
I forget like when Disney's gonna launch their own like streaming service because they announced they didn't like announce like a date like when it's actually like going to get started because like anything like that's Disney that's on like Netflix and stuff is gonna get taken off soon, and I think it's gonna put on their service. Now I don't really know what's going to be on it. I know what I would like to see, but they probably wouldn't show it. So like, quick question before we do like anything else: if you were in charge of the new Disney streaming service, what content would you put on it? Because I know what I would do.
Well, if I was a Disney exec, the answer would be other people's content because that's what Disney does.
Yeah, they're
Boots, I know you're dying a little bit inside. If you want to step off camera for a bit and like refresh yourself, we can do that for like 5 minutes. Just like, you know, get your head clear.
Oh.
yeah. If you're gonna be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because Kira is like a little concerned that you're dying.
I kind of am. I'm
Okay.
just slightly dying.
Shuffle off screen and like clear your nasal passages. Like maybe get some water in you.
Okay. I'll go do that.
Yeah.
Ooh. God. Get my straw back.
We gotta make sure our most identifiable asset doesn't die.
No, just come back some week and he's just purple. He's just
Watch your face in the mirror, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they got a sneaky one over there. It's a. Oh. Damn mirrors.
You should be okay. I was saying earlier, like if we were running like the new Disney streaming, site, like what content would we put on it?
I don't know. It's probably gonna be mostly Pixar. Pixar has been doing really good lately.
Yeah, it's kind of obvious they would show like all their movies and stuff.
Okay.
What I would do is all of their animated TV programming from like the mid '80s on, all the shows, everything they have ever aired, remember everything: Wuzzles, Gummy Bears, DuckTales, Rescue Rangers, Tailspin, all the stuff, all the episodes, unedited.
It gets weird when you get that episode where Donald Duck was a Nazi. Because that's a thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, a lot of theatrical cartoons like the Boys did all kinds of like weird propaganda stuff like during the war.
Mm.
Yeah, because anything that involved like World War II was interesting, like back then. Like if you ever seen any of the wartime cartoons that either Disney or Warner Brothers did, I mean, they got away with stuff that you could not do today. You probably could, but you'd get a lot of complaints from parents.
Probably
or
would.
a lot of praise from Trump supporters. But either way, like,
you know what would be an interesting move for Disney? If they did a Disney streaming service, but they did it exclusively for Disney-based creepypasta.
I don't. Wait, can they do that? I mean, I'm not familiar with creepypasta. I kind of.
Oh, there are some good ones on Disney. Aside from like what you would expect, which is the classic lost episode creepypasta, which is like 50-50. The big one that I know, or the big two that I know, are the two connected ones, Abandoned by Disney and Room Zero. And I'm not going to spoil either here, but give them a listen. They are actually voiced by Mr. Creepypasta on YouTube, and that's something Disney needs for American Dragon Drake Long. Yes. No, but I've actually been getting back into creepypasta, and that's two of my favorites. It's basically like a real life kind of setting where this guy finds out like basically it's tracking all of like the shady stuff that Disney does, and honestly, aside from the supernatural element, a lot of them are like, yeah, I could totally see Disney doing that.
Hello.
Cat is back.
I'm mostly returned, but well, I haven't entirely died yet. Oh dear. Oh. All right. Oh. Okay.
Good?
I think I'm good.
Right.
I don't think I'm gonna die.
Good. Because you know what time it is?
Oh shit.
It's time for Deans from the Chat.
Alright.
The way this game works is anyone in the chat, anyone named Kira, because Kira's the only one watching.
Hi Kira.
We have one viewer.
Yeah.
Gets to decide scenario. Yes, he is feeling better. Gets to decide scenarios that we have to come up with. Things like whatever. So, Kira, give us a scene to make funny and act out. Like, if you've ever seen Whose Line, it's basically scenes from a hat, except you guys just come up with it on the spot. If you can't think of one, ask Tony. Get a kitty, do-do-do. Get a kitty, da-da-da.
Skittles.
The only medication Boots takes.
Oh no.
I don't know why, I'm just picturing an Aaron from Game Grumps situation. Have either of you seen that meme?
Oh my god, it's disgusting. Oh, it makes me ill.
He's asleep.
Okay.
Alright, then just come up with something. Otherwise, we're just going to be bullshitting for the next half hour, which isn't anything different.
I'm fine with that.
We can watch me eat Skittles in suit. That'll be amazing.
I mean, that is entertaining in its own
It's
right.
always interesting.
Yeah, I got so many Skittles. Oh my god. There's a 1.3 kilogram bag of Skittles.
So, just, Boots, do me a favor. Put the bag up to your mouth real quick.
Okay. And?
More! Okay, Kira has one. Sales associate helping customers with finding the right bad dragon dildo. Flash, I think you should start this one off.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh no.
What is it? Sales associates shopping at Bad Dragon?
Sales associate helping customers with finding the right bad dragon dildo.
Okay. Okay. Ugh. Is this big enough for you, sir? No?
The answer is no, he's no.
I don't really know how to put this, but
I'm coming up with something.
it's a little excessive.
Congratulations! This is your 1,000th purchase. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I keep losing them. Incidentally, my proctologist is also very concerned.
Okay, I got one. Oh, you're here to pick up your order of lube? Okay. Larry, get the forklift.
Oh, oh dear.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir. We can definitely make it look like your ex-boyfriend. We just need a picture.
Oh. I need more Skittles. Yeah, I oh god. I don't really have a lot of experience in this regard. It's a bit of a thing that I don't.
No, sir. We cannot have telephone deliver it to your door. She does not work with us for the 100th time.
So the good news is I'm awake. I don't think I think I'm pretty I'm back in the moment now.
Unfortunately, you came back into orbit right around the time that we're doing an improv game.
Yeah.
And they come up
Flustered Boots, Flustered Always. Oh, I got one. Thank you for your purchase. Your total comes to $100, and you have a nice day, Mr. Conway.
Oh, no, I'm not touching that one. No. He's very nice and sent me my shirt.
Oh, it could be any Conway.
That's true.
Any Conway you like.
Okay, I got one. Okay, sir, will that be cash, charge, or mortgage to your house?
Oh my god. See that would require me to own. Oh no.
You don't really have to. You just have to know like what exactly it is, then just come up with anything for it.
Oh.
Yes, sir, we can deliver it to the hotel. Just know we were going to use the clear box because it is hilarious.
That's horrible. Oh my god. It's just not. Oh Jesus Christ. That's like my.
Okay, I think that one's good enough. Kira, you got another one for us?
Oh.
Oh God.
What is it?
No, that's what she said. She said, "Oh God."
You have to come
I
up with
don't remember
something else.
which joke that was for because the stream is obviously going to be a little laggy, but
Super laggy.
I'm only seeing it on Discord. I can't see what's going on in chat. I'll have to watch it later.
I'm going to the Anthrocon in the summer. If Uncle Kage ever comes across this episode, he's going to slap me in the face.
No, he'll just give you the look.
The look.
You know the look.
That's even worse. That's even scarier because you have no idea. What
Yeah,
thinking.
that one. Yeah.
I've heard you've been talking about me on the podcast. I think I have some things to say to you now. Why don't you come down to the river?
Oh, it's so nice down there. That's a very.
Oh, actually, you know what? I have one. Things to say in an Uncle Kage death stare.
I am so sorry.
It's easy for you, Boots. You don't have to do any facial expressions. Just move close to the camera.
Oh.
It was all his idea. I had nothing to do with this.
Kira, I just saw yours come up. I'm going to get it in a sec. Because I want to see this.
Yeah.
I came up with the idea, so you two have to do at least
Okay.
one.
Well, I have to go. And then Ninja Smoke Bomb. That's when you throw that down, and then you conveniently escape while no one's looking. But no, oh god, this isn't working. This is really bad.
Flash, give us your best Kage face and do a thing.
Hang on, I can do it. There.
It's going off again.
There, I'm doing it. Yeah.
Hello, Jay the Fox.
Hi, Jay.
Someone joined in.
I'm dying. I'm not doing good today.
Okay, so since nobody can think of a thing to do in a Kage, I'll probably do it later, but, teachers explaining to students about the furry fandom, the good and the bad. Boots?
I have no idea what this thing is. How did you find out about it? This sounds very interesting. Why don't you tell me more?
Welcome to Scenes from Boots Real Life.
Yeah.
Wow, really? Where did you find out about this? This is most definitely nothing that I have any experience with whatsoever.
Okay, I got one for this. Yes, Jimmy, you can make your first Sona whatever you want, except a fox, because if you make your first Sona a fox, your parents are gonna fucking kill me.
I mean, to be fair, they're probably gonna kill you regardless. It's... Oh...
Okay, I got one. Okay, class, for today's history lesson, we're going to watch the movie Robin Hood.
This
Disney
movie
edition.
makes me feel funny.
I know where you come from.
Oh...
Alright, class, we're talking about economics today. Does anybody know how to take out a loan for a fursuit? I'm just picturing all of Boots' class just like...
Oh my god, no. No, that's living the nightmare. Ugh. Oh, Jesus Christ. No. Oh, now you got me thinking about it. Oh, that's the worst.
Okay, here's one. Welcome to Sex Ed, the advanced class.
You're giving me flashbacks now, you know. Oh, that was.
What grade are they doing the sex ed class at this point?
Usually 7, 8.
Because here's the thing. The way school works, the advanced class is usually a year after the first one.
Oh.
Just picturing a bunch of 9th graders going home.
Oh no!
Mommy, why didn't you tell me I came Fox's butthole?
No, by the 9th grade, they know everything.
Yeah, let's say about the joke.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another one. Okay, class, remember to turn in your permission slips for our field trip to Chicago on the weekend of the end of November. That's when we'll be at Midwest Fur Fest. So make sure they're all of your notes signed, okay?
I got one. Welcome to home ec. Today we're working with silicone.
Okay, that's pretty good. Okay,
No, real home ec class for furries. Look, we're going to show you how to work with ramen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. That's yeah. Look, I'm gonna level with you. This is beyond my pay grade, so I'm not actually gonna talk about any of this. I want you guys to go to this wonderful learning resource. You load up your browser. You go to E621. It'll tell you everything you need to know. Fantastic. You can find anything on there.
Day the Fox, we're doing scenes from the chat, so if you want to throw in a scene that we can do, go ahead.
And then I will butcher it.
And then Boots will get really nervous and flinchy.
I'm not good at this. But on the bright side, I'm not passing out on camera anymore, because that was very concerning. Oh my god.
I am a merciful host, so I let Boots go off for 5 minutes and clear his sinuses, so he can feel all the awkwardness.
I'm going to be very interested to go back and watch this one again and see how many times I actually lost consciousness.
You'll know, too, because every time you lost consciousness, I made the joke about you looking at my cleavage.
Yeah, that was, and sometimes I come back talking about something that clearly nobody was actually talking about. Because all I see is everybody looking at me really confused.
So while Jay the Fox comes up with a scene for us to do, enjoy my Kage face.
Oh god. I oh, no, I can't. I need more Skittles.
What do you mean all the wine is gone?
Damn it. Stupid fat fingers.
Today the fursuit parade will go for 5 miles.
You know what, that? No, that'd be horrible.
Oh, okay. Okay, this is actually one that I might have to do in the future. Parent tells child about what a furry is.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that reminds me of that like, what was it, like a live journal thing or something where they had the two parents and their kid hated secret the daily furry hour where they learned about. Oh my god, it was just so bad.
Flash, I'll let you start this one off.
Oh, parent tells kid about the furry fandom. Right, You see, Billy, when I first met your mother, she was a fox. No, literally, she was a fox.
So,
Boots.
you're a growing boy now, and I figure it's about time that we had the talk about the birds and the bees, and choosing your appropriate Sona.
So, the way me and your mom went, we went to a movie that was about animals made by some guy who was a Nazi.
Wait, what?
The joke is Disney.
Oh my god!
I got it, but
Oh
no.
my god! Oh, that hurts. Oh.
See, what happened with me and Daddy is we had to go to a court and prove that we weren't completely insane before we got you from your actual parents.
Oh my god.
Stories of details, real life.
Oh.
I've never had to do that, but I know it's going to come up in the future.
Oh.
No, I swear, I'm fit to take care of a child. See, I have all the candy right here. Someone's going to take that out of context.
Alright, I got one. Son, I caught you going through my magazines, and I just have to ask you one thing. Which Heat story was your favorite?
Oh. Oh.
Oh, here's one. Hey, son, remember that onesie that I dressed you in when you were like 1, 2, had the foxtail and all that? I know a place where you can get one in your size now. Dad, I'm 30 years old. Yes, but it can still fit.
Oh. Oh.
Boots, I'll let you belt one out because this is almost over for you.
Alright. Alright. Oh. So, shit. Right. Okay. So, how we had you watching all those Looney Tunes cartoons with the Mr. Bugs Bunny there, and you notice how sometimes he likes to dress up like a girl, and you start to feel funny, strange. Yeah, that's you. You're a furry. That's what they are. Congratulations.
Flash, I'll let you cap this one off.
Alright. Okay, everyone, we're about to plan our family vacation. Where are we going? Pittsburgh!
Oh, yay.
Pittsburgh, you'll find out.
Oh my god.
Get in the car, don't ask questions, and definitely stay away from the guy with the beard that's going to be staying in our room.
For the
He's
love of
there
God.
because we only have so much.
For the love of God, do not unlock the doors.
And finally, remember, kids, when you hug someone in fursuit, make sure your eyes stay midriff. You'll figure out which gender they are after your head hits.
Oh.
I'm gonna be a horrible dad someday.
Yeah. That's why I just plan to never be one.
unfortunately, the world must continue to have Comedi-Furs. And on that note, we've been the Comedi-Furs.
Yes. We hope you enjoyed the show.
Yeah, thank you for coming to the podcast. Again, it will be on YouTube. We have a Discord. If you want to check out the Discord, I know Boots will link it, assuming he remembers.
And I don't die.
And you don't die.
Oh, God.
And once again, I obviously this time I pranked these guys with the drawing board, but that's literally there. Send us your art of our personas, of just us, if you want to draw a middle-aged man with a beard.
Just look.
No.
If you need references to our personas, just ask and we'll link them to you, either on the Twitter or FA.
We'll facilitate. We're not paying for it. We will show it on the podcast. So, watermark it if you're drawing it yourself, but, you know, we're always up for showing stuff off, so...
And make sure you give credit to the artist if you're commissioning from someone else.
Yeah, please do.
That's very important.
So, like I said, this week's a little weird. We're doing first and third week of the month, obviously, because it's the first week of the month. So our next podcast is when, Boots?
2 weeks.
So that would be Friday the 19th, correct?
19th.
I think so. I don't have a calendar. Well, I do have a calendar.
I'm looking at it right now. So today's the 5th. 2 weeks from now will be the 19th.
Cool.
So it's just about midnight. We've been the Comedi-Furs. We're all exhausted, and I see breadsticks that are about to go yummy, yummy in my tummy. We are out.
Bye-bye.
Everyone.
Okay.
Rest in peace, Dog Bomb.
Oh my gosh. Oh.